When you're Sangha, you have a huge responsibility to yourself and to the people around you. The first thing the Sangha must give up is attachment. And attachment has departments like greed, me, caring about yourself more than others, grabbiness, moneyness. Officially in the past, listen to this, okay? Officially, real Sangha is not even supposed to touch money or gold. And no savings. No bank accounts, no FDs, nothing. No credit cards. Sangha not supposed to happen. Now, that's become a little impractical, but Buddha doesn't make things impractical. The reason for that is not to have attachment towards money. You see, when you're restricted to something, you're restricted because to help you stay away from what you're attached to. If you like beautiful women, and you go to places where there are beautiful women, and that's all you go to, and you hang out there every day, you're going to slip. You're going to slip. If you like delicious food, and every single day you hang out at the best buffet in town, every day you're there, morning, noon, and night, hanging out, you're going to slip. If you like sticky buds, if you like alcohol, and you hang around people who drink and smoke all day long, not that they're bad, you're going to drink and smoke because it just becomes, you feel kind of empty. Pastor Nero told America, last time when he doesn't smoke, he doesn't know what to do with his hands. That's how he grab them all up. His hands feels a little empty. Lord knows what he did with his hand before cigarettes. Anyways, he doesn't know what to do with his hands. Grab them all up, do mantras. You say, but sometimes I'm not reciting mantra. It's good to do halfway, at least roll it. Even if you're not reciting, then later recite. Or get those Chinese balls. You need to roll. Yeah, they keep you busy and they keep your hands agile. They're good for chi also movement. We should never accommodate our attachments. We give more precedence and accommodation and help and assistance and love and cherishing and protect our attachments than our attainments. We should not cuddle, love, hold on to our attachments. And the reason is because, very simple, they don't serve you well. They're not your friend. Attachments are not your friend. They make you comfortable, not because they're your friend. They make you comfortable because you're used to it. How is that possible? There are people who kill people, they're used to it. They feel very good. People who steal or lie or embezzle or they gamble, they feel very good. Even their family is out in the cold, they can't pay their bills, their car gets taken, their house gets taken by a mortgage company, everything gets taken to have no money. Yet they feel so good because they're gambling. And why would that gambling make them feel good? Not because the gambling is good, not because they're bad, because they're used to it. Familiarity breeds comfort. Familiarity breeds comfort zones. So attachments are not your friend. Why are they called attachments? Because we're attached to them. Without them we can't live, we think. And future tenses are a way to cover our attachments. I will do retreat. I will change. I will become better. I know some people in this room who's been telling me future tense for the last 10, 15 years. It's still future tense when I talk to them. So if you hold on to future tense, the future tense will remain future, always. Why is that? That's what we do. What's future tense? I will change. I will transform. I will do this. I will do that. Oh, sorry, I didn't do it. I will watch myself. I will control myself. I will abandon this. I will give this up. Will all the time. You know what happens? What you actually give up is not your attachments. Because every time you say you will, you protect your attachments. Attachments need, just like your brain needs blood and oxygen. Attachments need what? It needs you to love it. Hold on to it. Protect it. Defend it. And when people say something about it, to be vicious about it. To be angry about it. To fight. How many times have we fought with other people or said things to other people to protect our attachments? Unknowingly and knowingly. We're all guilty of that. So how many times have we lied, not done our work, not been honest, lazy, haven't transformed, broke our commitments, broke our softness, and when people say something about it, we spend a lot of time defending it. We send a lot of messages, WhatsApps. We talk a lot. We have meetings. And in fact, we want to have meetings to clear the air to make sure that everybody knows I'm perfect and I'm not like that. And you just think I'm like that. How many meetings have been spent to talk and protect your attachments? How much time? And then when you look at yourself now, you can barely sit still in a retreat. You can barely not fidget around. You can barely not move around. So like that. Like this, drink water constantly, like this, like that. What's the difference if everything you do in the retreat is exactly the same if you're not doing retreat? What's the difference? No difference. This is not a scolding. I'm giving you information. So what's the difference to a retreat? Nothing is, your body is not controlled. Your pains are not controlled. Your habits are not controlled. And during retreats, everything is exactly the same. Then it's just reciting some words and you collect a little bit of merit. Okay? And you guys are actually not even doing a real retreat. You're definitely not. You're not even 10% of a real retreat. When you have a relationship, you're constantly stressed out. Are they with me? Are they not with me? Are they going to lose them? I'm going to get them. I don't get them. Do I have them? Do I don't? Constantly. Relationships, what we have, takes up 50 to 60% of our mind every day. How does it take up our mind? In worry and stress and attachment. So the deeper we get into a relationship, we start protecting the person. We start defending the person. We start being more concerned about the person. Instead of sentient beings, we're more concerned about our relationship. Instead of all beings, instead of the welfare of our teachers, the welfare of the Dharma, of the Sangha, we're more concerned about the relationship. And we're more concerned about the person we're attached to, more concerned they're happy so that they don't leave us. So every time we get into a relationship, 50-60% of our mind goes towards that person, and it becomes 70, 80, and 90 as time goes. Why is that? It's like drinking. Every day, the more you drink, the more addicted you become. You don't become less addicted. Who drinks every day one glass or whatever you drink, and then it becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20? How does it become less? Smoking. Since when is it when you smoke, it becomes less? It becomes more. From one fag, another stick, another 3 stick, 4 stick, 1 pack, 2 pack, 3 pack, 4 pack. And then soon 2, 3 packs is nothing. Nothing. So the more you indulge in the attachment, if you observe your mind, this is not a criticism. This is for you to observe. What I'm teaching you is to observe. It's not criticism to say, oh, I feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. You are what you are. You do what you do. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. This is not about feeling guilty. Don't sit there and feel guilty and have your shoulders down. It is what it is and face what it is. And that's all that means. So the more you smoke, the easier it becomes. And the sad thing about attachments is this. Listen up. Last time if you have bubbly once a month, you're satisfied. You have 1 cigarette a day, you're satisfied. You have 1 drink a day, you're satisfied. That's increased to 2 times a week. 2 times a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5 times a day. Pretty much is a pack, 2 packs, 3 packs. And your relationship in the beginning, it's intense. And then it cools down, and then it becomes even more intense. Why does it become intense? Because you suddenly discover that your best friend attachment tells you can't live without this person. And then all your focus is on this person. You can be disrespectful to your guru. You can lie to your guru. You can lie to the Dharma. You can lie to each other. You can fight with others. You can defend. You can protect. All your time. I mean, think of all the time you spend with your partner. That can be spent with your guru. Think of all the times you're sitting next to your partner. They have to be with you, drive with them, live with them, be with them, hang out with them, hold on to them, and you just can't let go. All that time could have gone to your guru, or being a monk and nun, or the Sangha, or Vajrayana. So all the time you attach to your partner, that time goes somewhere. It could have gone to something higher that actually brings you to a higher level, than to something that brings you to a lower level. So the more cigarettes you smoke, the more it increases. The more jewelry you buy, the more you want it. The more parties you go to, the more you want to. Because that party wasn't good, that person wasn't there, that party wasn't that exciting, that party wasn't as high class. And then you give yourself reasons to go to the next party, the next party. Pretty much every day you're doing selfies on the parties and dinner parties you go to. It becomes an addiction. Gambling, oh, I won. I think I can win again. Oh my God, I lost. No, but I won, you know. Lady luck is with me. Oh, I do it again. Oh, I lost. Oh my God, I won a little. I knew I could do it. Let me do it again. Oh no, I lost again. But I did one a few times. I have my luck is down. Let me do a puja. Then I do it again. Oh, I lost. Oh, I lost everything. Well, maybe I can hawk off my wife's jewelry. Maybe I can hawk off my car. You know what? I'm not spending enough time doing this. I better learn better. So I think I'm going to quit my job and go gamble all the way. Because I think if I spend more time, I become more expert. I can be better. I quit my job knowing I have never mind sell some drugs. Let me borrow some money from my friends. They're in the bathroom. Okay. Take out the money and put it in my wallet. Let me sell everything. Let me cash in my insurance. Oh, my kids got to go to school. These days, school is shmoo. They can learn things on the internet. They're smart kids. Let me break the FD and let me gamble. And then the attachment becomes stronger. We justify more. And then the next thing you know, we gamble all day, every day, until we have nothing. And then we're down to nothing, and we either think of suicide, which I hope we don't, or we take things to numb the pain. But in the beginning, it was exhilarating. It really made me feel young. Made me feel like I'm gambling my life and I'm winning something. Makes me feel lucky. That's the same thing with cigarettes. Oh, all your friends are there. Come on, smoke. Don't be such a wet towel. Okay. By the end of next week, you can blow through your ears. You're an expert. And then that's just for social smoking, just to fit in, because, all these girls walk by and, all the men are cool, just smoking, they're kind of squinting, that maverick Marlboro man look. And you're sitting there like, I don't smoke, I'm a goody. So Sweet Young turns into, a maverick man. So when the girls walk by, hope they choke and look at you. And then, pretty soon, I feel a little itchy. Why am I taking a chance? I calm down. Hey, there's some stress. There's a meeting room. She called me. I need a cigarette. And then we find all these excuses to smoke more and more and more. Not that smoking is bad, but your attachment to it is. There's no difference between smoking and bullying and alcohol and gambling and relationships and anger and food and clothes and gold. There's no difference. It's just which type of attachment you all wish to heavenly manifest. So whether you're not good or bad because you do cigarettes, you excess bullying, or anything, you're not good or bad. You're not worse or better. You're not evil. That's the one thing we have to realize. It's not a scolding. You're not evil. You're not bad. You're not inherently evil. It's not about that. It's about you remaining in a position that you have no control. It's about you remaining in a position that you have no control over yourself. None. And remaining in that position and strengthening that position by the different attachments. Now, when we take a lot of alcohol, or we take intoxicants, or we take drugs, I hope nobody does, and cigarettes, we pollute the channels in our body. So attainments become a little more difficult to achieve. It's different when you achieve attainments and you do that. It's different when you haven't achieved it and you do that. Some people say, look, the High Lamas do that. Yeah, the High Lamas and clairvoyants do it. They can blow on people and heal the disease. You blow on them, they just get bad breath. So who's a High Lama? Nobody in this room. So there's no exception. Nobody in Kichara. So there's no exceptions in Kichara for me or you. None of us can pretend we're a High Lama and smoke and do all kinds of funny things and pretend it's Dharma. Or it's Mahasiddha action. Because, Mahasiddhas have other actions. They have great compassion. They tirelessly work for others. They can control their sleep. They can control their attachments. They're not attached to attachments. They use attachments to get close to you. They don't use attachments to fall. High Lamas use attachments to help you. Great Vajrayana practitioners can have bhakti with you, and before you know it, you're in the Dharma. Oh my God, everybody gets initiation, let's go get laid. No. So, what we need to do is, as Sangha, even if you're not becoming a monk and nun, see, becoming a monk and nun is an open declaration war on attachments. Becoming a monk and nun is an open declaration to others War on attachments. So we wear robes outside, I don't think anybody will go, nobody's going to pick you up. You go into a bar, everybody looks at you. I mean, it's very uncomfortable for a monk and nun to go to a pickup place, hang out in Jalalor, go to the clubs, saunas, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Phuket. It's very hard. Everybody looks at you like, what's that? So it protects you. It protects you by the force of the public. If you're disciplined yourself, you wouldn't go there anyways. So it is an open declaration to let the whole world know, war on my attachments. I'm going up faster. And sometimes we need public support for that. What's public support? You know that if I do this, people are watching. You say, does it become an ego thing? At first, it's a little egotistical because you're afraid people are watching. But in the end, it doesn't become like that. Because at the end, you know what happens? You get used to not doing all those things. So you don't care whether people are watching or not. You just don't do it. It's only recently, in the last 10 years, that the monastery has become less strict about monks going to Hubli, that's the town next to Ganden, and wearing lay clothes. It's just so much easier. There are many reasons, I'm not going to get into it. That's why you see an influx of monks wearing lay clothes when they go out, especially when they travel, even the high lamas. Last time, when I first joined the monastery, no way. You get caught lay clothes in Hubli or traveling, if you get caught, if there's proof, there's no cameras on your phone. And it's reported to the Gikula disciplinarian, there will be a punishment. You have to do prostrations during puja in front of the Sangha to apologize. So it's become easier because it's become more practical. Okay? So for us, we want to get used to letting the world know that we are a monk. Like I said, after you're a monk or a nun for a while, the robes don't matter anymore. You will not break your discipline, I promise you. You will not do things that are unmonkly. You will not do things that will break the monk vows because you're very used to it and it's very comfortable. And you know what feeds that comfort? You feel free. And you feel light. You don't know how light you can be when you're not attached to clothes. You're not attached to money, to bukli, to relationships, to food, to family, to friends, to locations, to geography. And all you seek is meditation. When you're not attached to those, in the beginning it's painful. It's like getting rid of gambling or smoking. It's painful. But once you're free from gambling and smoking, once you're free from the attachment, actually you feel real light. So you stay away from the attachments, not because you're disciplined, because it doesn't affect you anymore. You become light. And you're not defensive anymore. That's why real monks and nuns, if you look at them, they exude an aura, they exude an energy. You feel safe with them. Like Tenzin Palmo. We haven't had the honor to meet her and get her blessings. But when you just see her on the video, how do you feel? Moved, touched. Because you can feel her nun vows coming out from the screen onto you. You can feel her lack of attachments. And everything she says and how she acts. So when you take monk and nun vows, you are making a battle cry. Down with attachments. In the beginning it's tough, after a while it becomes real easy. You know why it becomes real easy? Because not doing things that harm you make your mind light. Why does it make your mind light? You don't have to defend. You don't have to worry. You don't have to grasp. You don't have to wonder who's beating you out. You don't have to wonder about your reputation. All that doesn't matter. You don't even care about face. What do you care about? What matters? Others and your mind. So that space is free for you to focus on others and your mind. When you have a relationship, that takes up most of your day. Takes up most of your time, most of your energy, most of your focus. I'm not telling you to break up. I'm not telling you not to have a relationship. I'm just telling you to look at the truth. So think of how much time and energy you've spent on relationships in this life. Think how much time and energy you are spending on relationships now. Think how much time and energy you spend on your attachment to your partner now. You think about it. And all that time could be transferred to doing prostrations, deeper retreats, building a KFR, serving the Lama, cleaning, Vajrasattva, doing projects, heading a department. All that could come to that. But instead, it goes all to relationships, and you focus on relationship, and you protect the relationship. And after a while, the relationship actually makes you do things that are not good. Because if you get very attached to the person, something goes wrong, you pick that person over them. You know why? Not because you're a bad person, because it's the habit form. After a while, you deceive your guru to smoke, even though you say you won't smoke. Not because you want to deceive your guru, not because you don't love your guru, not because you don't respect. You love, you respect, and you definitely care. It's just the habit is too strong. So after a while, you deceive your guru. You keep smoking, although you say you're going to stop. And the smoking is not the bad part, by the way. It's the habit. It's the habit. So with relationship, you start deceiving, you start being more covert and overt, and you start becoming more vocal to protect it. If someone says something about that person, why is it you'll be more vocal to protect that person as opposed to the other people who are being wronged? Because this person provides you with some pleasure. So you want to protect that pleasure. Therefore, you're more vocal. And how does that, what is that? That person's not wrong, you're not bad. What happens? Then you start to abandon others for this person. Abandoning others for this person in secular life, of course, it's my wife, it's my girlfriend, it's my boyfriend, it's my husband, it's whatever. Of course, they say you have to abandon. In secular life, they say that. But you see, if you want to think on a secular level, you never become enlightened. So when you think, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my husband, my wife, my partner, that's all you focus on, then everybody else doesn't matter. You eat with them, you go with them, hang out with them, you sleep with them, you drive with them, you party with them. Just them. It doesn't matter how others feel. What happens? When you are deep in attachment, this is the direct problem. Your equanimity practice gets damaged. Does that make sense? When you don't have equanimity, then the causes for anger and desire and greed all become stronger. So if you want to have a relationship and you're in control, yes, if you're Drigung Rinpoche or Chujang Rinpoche, you're in control of yourself, not your partner. So whatever your partner does, it doesn't matter. But if you're the Kichara Guru tree, then when you get a partner, it will increase everything in you negative eventually. I think most of us have had relationships in the past. Where has it brought you till now? You have a higher mind, more equanimity, more kindness, less attachments, more control of your life and your mind. Since you don't have more control of your life and mind, and you've had all these relationships, why do you think the next relationship is going to provide that? Oh, but it's a Dharma relationship. There's nothing Dharma about a relationship. Nothing Dharma. Nothing Dharma about a relationship. We just call it a Dharma relationship because you both happen to be a little bit in Dharma. Like the Lingam Rinpoches, Chujang Rinpoches, the Panchen Lamas, they're in the middle of the Samsara ocean snorkeling away in control. We're just at the tip with our little toe at the shore, and we say we're in Dharma, right? The Dharma was the water that is. So our little toes dipped in, I want Dharma. But the real people of Dharma just snorkeling in the middle of the Dharma ocean, saving sentient beings. So having attachments is not bad, but it can become bad if you're not in control. Why can it become bad? Because all your time, your energy goes to the relationship. And relationships is a big destroyer of equanimity. Is it possible to have a relationship and practice equanimity? It is. It is possible. How is it possible? You just have to work a little harder. If you're into lobsters and I wave, a curry lobster in front of you, and you can smell it, you can taste it, the meat's dripping out. I mean, Vinny's already salivating. So if I'm waving a curry lobster in front of you, with delicious fried rice and all that, and you can smell it, you can see it, and it's hot and steamy, that's going to be a little hard. Do something, maybe one drop. I'll do this tomorrow. But if I don't show you that lobster, it's less. So every single day what you do is you dangle that lobster. Every day. You watch, when you have a relationship, the chances of you ever being a Sangha is almost nil. Why is that? Not because you're bad, because you're increasing lack of equanimity. One of the qualities Sangha is equanimity. When you smoke and drink, you destroy and pollute your body. And you don't have the power of reincarnation to take on a new body, to make sure that you come back in a perfect human form to continue your spiritual journey. So why would you want to destroy your body? And if you can increase attachment in one area, that area can transfer to another area. That's why monks and nuns don't smoke. Monks and nuns don't smoke don't drink, not because those are harmful, but the attachment to it is harmful. There are monks who drink medicinal herbs, but that's not attachment, that's medicine. So that makes a lot of sense when you think about it. So therefore, when we stop the core of our attachments, smoking, drinking, eating, relationships, the 8 worldly dharmas, attachment, face, when we start diminishing these, you know what happens? Let me tell you what happens. You don't collect good karma because you diminish smoking and drinking or bullying. You don't diminish that. Those are just you don't need a knife to kill someone. The knife just makes it easy to kill someone. You don't need these attachments to be happy. And without these attachments, it helps you to kill your attachment to attachments that bring unhappiness. So when we start, and what's most important, more important than cigarettes and bubbly and all that stuff and relationship, more important is integrity. That's why I stress that all the time. What is integrity? To always do what you promise, irregardless of how difficult it is, and make that a habit. Once you make that a habit, you'll be qualified to get sadhanas, the mantras, the vows. So whatever you promise, if you're supposed to update, update. If you're supposed to respond, respond. If people say, oh, you don't update enough, and you're supposed to update more, let them win and update more, and let your attachment of the fear of updating lose. Because the more your attachments lose, they'll die away. When your attachments die, they affect other attachments. Other attachment ultimately goes back to your mind. You're not attached. Does everybody understand that point?